Hey, good evening to you. How are you? I am good. Hope you are good, having a blessed week. Today we are talking about addiction and some other things that I want to throw in there. But before we get started, to the God of my understanding, we are grateful to have you, to have you in our lives. And you all keep us going and knowing that we are special. We are special. Okay, we finna open up with a moment of silence for the addicts who still suffer in and outside of these walls at all given time during the day. Most gracious Heavenly Father, I thank you. I thank you for just being who you are. Thank you for allowing us to find a new way to live. Thank you for allowing us to learn how to accept ourselves and the things that go along with that. I thank you for the group homes. I thank you for the women's group homes, the father group homes, the trans. I thank you for even allowing us to have counselors that help us get our lives back on track. Thank you for the inpatient, outpatient. Thank you for the therapist, the counselor, all the counselors all over the world. I thank you for just allowing us to find a new way to live. And so we won't have to struggle no more. My God, my God. Hey, everybody. You know, today is Friday. It is October the what? October the 3rd. And I am so grateful for being clean. And I want to give a shout out to the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program, because it sure enough helps. It helps all the time. And, you know, for that, I am so grateful that I was introduced to the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program, because it made me a better person. It made me find out my purpose. It made me know what I want to do in life. And it also let me know what was in me all the time. I had to find it, you know. And so today I want to talk about addiction. And I want to talk about how sometimes when we are addicted to drugs, it takes everything from us. It takes our ability to want to do right, want to live right, and want to be right. And you know, one thing that I love about recovery is that it helps us deal with everything along with addiction. You know, addiction is a disease. It's a disease that kills, steals, and destroys. And before I go on, I wanted to say, hey, Auntie, how you doing? My sister Selena, Evangelist Selena Green, is on here. She's on Tuesday night. If you want to get a special blessing from my side of the family, you heard me? My side of the family. Go on there on Tuesday night and look up Evangelist Selena Green and see, don't you be blessed in all areas of your life. Okay, so, you know, recovery is the best thing that ever happened to me, other than my mother giving me life and God creating me and creating you and giving you life. You know, I want to give a shout out to the families that had to deal with losing a loved one, a daughter, a son, father, brother, uncle, niece, aunties, and aunts. And, you know, to deal with losing a child or a mother or a father, sister and brother, or cousins and nephew through the drug addiction, through the overdoses, you know, it isn't easy. You know, because of our selfish needs and our wants and what we want to do, we forget about our loved ones. We forget about the people that helped carry us through while we was going through our addiction. And I want to give a shout out to the parents, the mothers, the fathers, and the sisters and brothers, whoever this attacks, you know, that thank you. Thank you for not giving up on your other kids. Thank you for not giving up on yourselves. It's very painful. I lost a son due to using drugs, pills, and and when he stopped, it was a little bit too late, but God still gave him to me for 36 years, and for that I would be forever grateful. It was painful, but in recovery, it teaches us we can go through pain and still don't have to use. And that's what I love about recovery. No matter what you're going through, you don't have to use no matter what. When they say no matter what, that's what they mean. No matter what happens, who hurt you, who did you in, who disrespect you, who stopped loving you, who put you out there in a way to where you had to find your own purpose in life. So, we have to find that we have a light in us, and I want to speak to some special people tonight. I got a couple emails before I came on my phone, and I want to talk to not just the regulars and not to the ones that's going to come up on this site, but to the people who took out time to email me and text me and call me. It's never over until we think it's over. And what you think, that's what you become, and what you become, that's how you live. So I have to tell you all that, it's a better way. The disease of an addiction is here to do one thing: take away the joy, the peace, take away the life, take away the happiness, take away, the joy in our lives. And that's what it did for me. And it probably did it to you all too, because we all go through addiction alike, but different stories and different faces. So you have to remember that. I wanted to talk about, hey, Robin, how you doing, baby? I wanted to talk about, when we get clean, all of a sudden, other challenges come into our lives. I've seen a couple of people that had came up with cancer, liver cancer, prostate cancer, and some people get scared. And I wanted to tell you that no matter what the doctor says, no matter how you might be scared or how you feeling, you must maintain your sanity. You must maintain that, because I've seen a couple of people that's kind of losing it. And a couple of them, I had to go and talk to them in a very special way, because I understand they were scared, going through chemo, and then you got to be cut on again. And, in recovery, it teaches us we cannot use no matter what. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is that some rocky roads going to come into your life when you're clean. And don't think that because you get clean that everything was going to be okay. It's okay that you wake up and you don't use. That's a blessing and a gift. But what I'm telling you all is that it's going to be some bad, devastating news that look bad or it seem bad. But when you trust in the God of my understanding, who I choose to call God, He'll work it all out. And I had to tell people, you can't look. You have to walk by faith and not by sight. Because sight will take you places that you think that you wasn't going to ever have to face. And see, I had to learn that. And the reason I'm talking to you all and giving this message tonight is for people that's struggling, that's clean and struggling with health problems and cancer and lupus and all other kind of health issues. You don't have to give up no matter what. You got to stay focused at all times to maintain your recovery. Recovery, every time you hear the word cancer, is not a death sentence. I know. I've been there, done that, was in that. So I understand that. I done been through so much in my life in using and in recovery. But one thing that I can tell y'all, I'm straight up very serious about staying clean. You know, it gets to a point in our lives that some of us is in denial. We still drink, we still do pills, we still do other things, and they think they don't have a problem because it's not crack. You know, but honey, when you're using alcohol and pills and shooting up and all the other things that we do, and you know, it's still not good because it leads us to drink more. I noticed that when I stopped doing crack, I started drinking more. And when I stopped drinking more, then I went back to crack. You know, this disease of an addiction, you know, is cunning and it's baffling and it's very, very, very powerful. And until you realize that, then you're going to keep going on in circles. And I've been here too long to know that, you know, stuff going to happen. Stuff going to happen when you get in recovery and your life starting to change. And all of a sudden, you know, I remember when he told me I had cancer. I remember when he told me when I had kidney failure. I remember, hey, Lillian, I remember, glad to see you, honey. I remember when they told me I had cancer, I was clean. I remember when they told me I had to get a kidney taken out, I was clean. I remember when I had a disease in my body. I can't even think of the word of it right now. I come back to it, you know, but I remember when I had to depend on somebody that was bigger than me. Hey, Charlotte, good to see you, baby. Always good to see y'all. Good to see my auntie, my sister, and Robin, and all the other that comes on later on at night, in the morning. Thank y'all for letting me be a part of your process, and you are part of mine. You know, so we playing it forward, back and forth, to help one another. But like I was saying, when we get clean, you know, our life is starting to make sense. We starting to feel better. We starting to like ourselves better. We starting to take some acceptance. We starting to look at our own responsibilities. We starting to love again. We starting to have some peace again. We started to bring some joy into our own life. Can't nobody give you what you can give yourself. That's why it's very important to get it on your own. Meters is good. Having a sponsor is excellent. You know, doing service work is excellent. But we still have to give recovery to ourselves. We have to play the biggest part in recovery of staying clean just for today, not using, not taking nothing, you know, whatever we got to go through, you know, because when I was down and out and I had kidney cancer, oh Lord, what did I not have? It seemed like I was a broken vessel all the way around, clean, you know, and I always tell people today, people think that it's just about drugs. It's about drugs. It's a disease of an addiction that's called drugs. But the main thing that I had to deal with was the different personalities that I had picked up, the different things like lying, manipulating, cheating, hating, you know. So I had to work on, and I always tell you that. I don't know why people just focus on the disease of an addiction when you also got to focus on your character and your defects, what brought you to the disease of an addiction. And bringing us to disease of an addiction is our own impulsive thinking, our own getting in the way. It's our own way of how we used to do things. We can't do things the way we used to when we was on drugs. Hear me now, we cannot come into recovery and think we can keep all them crazy thoughts and the manipulating and all the behaviors, our characters. We had to change everything. You know, now I'm hearing a lot more about that. People's dealing with, you know, the way they think, how they use people, how they manipulate. You know, you have to learn how to have patience. You have to learn how to trust in the God of your understanding. You have to learn how to be obedient to yourself. You have to learn how to keep a certain boundary in your life, because if you let everybody come in your circle and people that don't mean you no good, believe me, you will lose. You will go back to using drugs. That's why I don't have many people, not much at all, maybe 2 or 3 people that I actually talk to. But I wanted to tell you tonight that we are the light. We are the light in our lives. We see the light. We see when we come into being clean, because addiction will tell you you are nobody. It'll make you feel like you're useless, hopeless. You know, it'll make you give up. It'll make you hate yourself and hate other people. I know, because I went through everything I'm telling you all. I went from learning how to hate and not to hate, not loving to love. I learned how to accept the things that I cannot change, and the things that I could change, then that's what I worked on. That's what I believed in, you know, and I had to learn all of this through recovery, of not picking up, not using drugs, because you are going to go and get clean and stay clean, but in the process, you're going to have some health issues because of, you know, we can use for 30 years and all of a sudden get clean, or use for 20 years or use for 10 years and all of a sudden get clean, and then all of a sudden we start having health problems. You know, I got a dear friend that's going through, but I love her so much. You know, she is one of my best friends. And she's going through, and she has been blessed to be older than me and still be able to take some medicine, you know, and still be able to recognize this the wreckage of her past. You know, because when we use, and all them years we use, and all of a sudden we get clean, then it takes it a while for it to develop into a disease or develop into a health problem. And when we going through, you know, and one thing I love about this guy, Freedom, you know, one thing I love about this guy, one thing I love about him, you know, he's going through. He's going through cancer. He's in the treatment. They got a cutback on him. My other girlfriend, Janice, she got 3rd stage cancer, and she going through. And I have to keep them in prayer and talk to them and let them know it ain't over. It ain't over. Sometimes the wreckage of our past, us using and abusing ourselves, and after we get clean, it can show up again. The wreckage of the past can show up again. You know, so I wanted to say to you all that's struggling, or you going to get some bad news this week, next week, a couple of months after. You still don't give up. You hang in there more than you ever hung in your life. Because, you know, Satan don't like that we clean. He don't like it that we stop using drugs. He don't like it that we start loving people again. He don't like it that we can smile and laugh about things that we used to couldn't laugh and smile about. He don't like it that we got some recovering friends. He don't like it that we got new peoples in our life that do not use drugs and alcohol. He don't like it that we ain't stealing no more, and we ain't lying, and we ain't prostituting. And he don't like that. He don't like it that we found a new way to live without the disease of using drugs. You know, he don't like it that every day we don't use is another day accounted as a blessing. He don't like that. He liked it that we was confused mentally, emotionally, and physically. He liked that. He liked it that we was still holding on to stuff that was a part of our past, you know, learning how to love somebody unconditionally. You know, when all we did was love people and use them and hurt them. So when we get clean, everything becomes brand new. Everything, we start working on ourselves. We start working on our character. We start working on our behaviors. We start looking at how we look at life on life terms, you know, and people don't get, that's why I tell people every day, and I mean what I say and I say what I mean, that because you are recovering don't mean that you brought some ugliness into your recovery. You still didn't work on all the ugly things about you. And when you cover, you worked on the disease. You worked on the using the drugs, picking up the drugs. But when you come in and you stay in, and the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program teaches us that we have steps that we must follow. We must follow until the end of our lives. We have a disease and we have to treat it like it's a disease. I know I do. I never forget that I'm recovering. I never forget that I need to work on some things about me. I never forget that I know I need to show up at times when I don't want to show up at a meeting. I know I need to go to a convention where I can see everybody and love on people that I hadn't seen in a while. I went to a convention a couple of months ago. Man, did I have fun. I saw Charlotte. I saw Teresa. I saw some people I know I ain't saw in 20 years. I'm just going to keep it real with you. And I was so happy and so delighted that them people were still in my circle. They were still clean. They were still working on something. And that's why I tell people, because you don't see people, you can't count them out. You can't count them out that they went back to using. That's why I never do that. Because soon as something happened or we get together, here they are. You know, they might have left for a while because we do have a life. But in my life, I must maintain everything that I did to get me to this point. You know, so that's why I never lose contact with people. I'm always going to meetings. But some people sometimes going to meeting can overwhelm you sometimes, especially when you got a life, you know. But I must tell you, I was so glad to see especially Charlotte, because she was the one I took up under my wings years and years ago. And when I look at her, I see a bowl of light. When I look at her, hey, Levy, when I look at her, I see a bowl of light, sunshine. You know, when I look at people's, you know, that's on here that I've seen at a meeting or haven't seen in a while and they still around. See, I'm not a sociable drinker. I can't get around people and say I'm just socializing and I'm just going to take a drink and just to fit in. That's what I have been doing all my life, trying to fit in, trying to please everybody. Because you drink a certain drink, then I'll drink a certain drink. Or because you drink it, I'll drink. Or because you pop a pill, then I know I'm recovering and then I want to pop a pill. That's why they say people's, places, and things, we cannot handle that. We must let the people that's using stay to themselves and we separate ourselves from that. And that's what I love about recovery, because recovery, when I came into recovery over 35 years ago, I met some wonderful people just like me, you know, and I had to learn how to love myself all over again. And people think that's easy, and it's not. It's not. All the things that kept you bound is the things that we have to work on. All the things like lying to ourselves over and over again, you know, and holding resentments on peoples that don't even know we holding resentments on. Do you hear me? Because a lot of people didn't even know I was carrying the resentments on them. So I had to learn how to separate all that. I had to learn how to separate. I know I have a disease, and I know it's called drugs. And I know that I had other character defects and behaviors that I had to work on. So, you know, when I came into recovery, I wanted to understand why couldn't I let go of things that had been the wreckage of my past for so long. Why can't I still let it go? You know, I had to learn, why am I still hating people that hurted me? I had to learn all over again, why do I stay so angry? Why do I get depressed so easily? Why do I hold on to people that really I love that hurt me? And this is why we call this place of Narcotics Anonymous. It teaches us how to let go a little bit at a time. We ain't gonna do it overnight. Can't nobody tell you you're gonna do it overnight, because it don't work that way. So I had to have the spirituality along with the Narcotics Anonymous program. And I worked both of them. I had the spirituality. I still go and go to church. Can't nobody take that from me. And then I had to deal with the Narcotics Anonymous program. And I always felt like if I keep both of them in my life, I won't lose. And that's the truth. Because see, if I go to my service and I talk to them peoples, how can them peoples in the church know about drugs if they never use drugs? But I had to go to get fed myself, other words, and to keep me going as I go through this disease of an addiction and not using. You know, because when I was using it, I didn't care about nothing. I didn't care about you hurting me. I didn't care about you manipulating me. I didn't care about how you look at me. I didn't care about what you think of me. I didn't care about how you talked about me. I didn't care about how I talked about you. When that disease of an addiction, I didn't care about myself. So how could I relate or care about anything when I had to learn how to learn me all over again without the drugs, without the alcohol, without the pills? I had to learn all that. And it was very rewarding to me. It was hard at first because some stuff came up in my life, the wreckage of my past, some things that happened in the past came to the present, and I had to learn how to deal with it being clean. I had to learn that I can't pick up no alcohol or no pills or no drugs to deal with you. I had to learn that I had to get some acceptance that I am an addict. And once I get that in my head that I am an addict, then I am well on my way. I know that I can't use drugs no more. I know that. And when you come in recovery not playing, then that's when you see the blessing and the miracles. You know, when I was able to really look at my life for what it is, and I had to say to myself, do I want to die like this? Will I be known as a drug user that overdosed on some drugs, or killed myself with some alcohol, or overdose off some heroin or pills, you know? And along with all my other addictions, other than the drugs, I really had to work on, you know, my behavior, my attitude, how I overthink, how I pursue to think things that's worse than what it is. I had to learn how to feed my mind positively things instead of negative things. And everybody know that's how I am today. I'm going to talk about God anywhere I go, and whoever don't like it, I'm sorry. But that's who woke me up this morning. That's who gave me the light to get on here. And he had to talk to me like I talk. You know, sometimes I can talk ghetto when I want to, but I had to learn how to hear his voice and recognize what he's telling me. And he was like, Renee, you got it. You've been clean all this time, but you stopped. My peoples need help. And he wasn't lying. And every time that I get on here and I go back and I look back and I go back and I think, he wasn't lying, because it's people that all through the night or morning come over here and listen to me or text me or say you did this and you did this for me. It's people that's struggling right now that we don't even know they're struggling. That's where the prayers go out. I still pray for the people I don't know, pray for the people that I know, pray for the people that I'm going to end up finding out who they are, you know, because this addiction, you know, it hides. You know, I'm one of them. When I was using, I hid. I didn't want nobody to know I was using. I didn't want nobody to know I was drinking. I didn't want nobody to know my life was full of bottles and full of hurt and pain. I didn't want nobody to know that. So I kept using, I kept using, I kept using until one day I surrendered. I couldn't do it no more. You know, my life, my bills had got worse. I wasn't paying them. That's how they got worse. I remember that I didn't have a car because I sold my car or pawned my car and never got it back. So the things that I was doing, using drugs, it complicated my life around in my life. You know, my life's supposed to be peaceful, not stressful. My life's supposed to mean something. My life's supposed to show me what purpose did I change to make? What purpose do I need to stay nurtured about myself? And, you know, I realized, let me tell you some things that I realized about people's that's clean. I realize about me since I've got clean. I am very powerful. You are very powerful. And you will know it by staying clean because you'll watch the evidence come into your life. You will see it. You will feel it. You will know it. And people will tell you. And even if didn't nobody tell you, I knew I wasn't a liar no more. I knew that I didn't have to go to bed at night mad at somebody or hating somebody because they hurt me. I knew it. I knew. And there's so many things. Oh, hey, cousin Pamela. Pamela's on here. She was another one I just told y'all about at the convention. You know, I was so happy to see her. You know, her too lost, we're cousins, and her too lost her mother. I lost my mother. She lost her brother and her sister. And I lost my son. And, and still see her is a reminder of why I stay clean. You know, because when she show up, it's a light. Remember I told you we are full of light. And, I'm going to tell you what I found out about myself, and it has to apply to you too, because if you got years of being clean, then you must understand what I'm finna say. We are powerful. We become very powerful. Powerful that we can listen to other people's and understand. Powerful that we can be hurting at the same time but still don't pick up. Powerful to know that it's a place and time in our life that we have to take some me time or go on a vacation and regroup. We as peoples in recovery have learned that we are powerful peoples. We become powerful. Because when Satan had us, we was useless to ourselves. And we become power. And then I realized dealing with peoples, and I see my cousin and Charlotte, everybody all through the meetings when I go to the meeting, that we are creative peoples. We can come up with some stuff that we didn't even dream that we can come up with. We are creative. I can take a hanger and build a house out of a hanger. That let me know I'm powerful. That let me know I'm creative. That let me know I'm well on my way. That let me know no matter how Satan come at me, take my peoples, take my mother, take my father, take my brother, take my son. He let me know I'm powerful. You know why we powerful? Because we didn't go use behind people that left us that we had for a long time, like our mothers and our sons and our brothers. That's how powerful we become. Because we learned how to deal with the challenge in recovery when it comes to recovering. We learned that we can't pick up. Don't mean that I didn't want to drink at one time or another. Didn't mean like when I lost my mother, I didn't want to go get high. But what I did mean that I had enough power to realize it was just a thought, and the thought left, and I became more powerful than I ever had. So I learned that. Then on top of that, we learn how creative we are. We learn how we can open our minds to get a different job or go self-employed and start helping other people. We learn that we are creative. When I used to let my hair look a mess, I got creative because once I stopped using, I learned how to fix it up and make it look pretty and spray some oil sheen on it. Boy, I didn't think about none of that when I was using. All I thought about was getting high. We learn how to love again. We learn in spite of what we done or what was done to us. We learn how to love again. And the reason I know we learn how to love again, because the love starts with us. The love came into our own lives. You know, when we look in the mirror, we get dressed, I see I am the light. You are the light. Cousin Pam, you are the light. Charlotte, you are the light. Selena, you are the light. Auntie Wanda, you are the light. And everybody else that came on here, you have a light in you that only the people that's got the light or the people that's still using, and they see you and they see a light. They see the happiness. They see the goodness. They see that light. And then on top of that, I noticed that in recovery, we become magical. We become magical to people to make a difference. We become magical to do some things and let other people see the light in the magical things that we have done in our lives. We have become very magical. Not just me. I'm talking to you. Anybody that come up on this site, I'm talking to you. See, we learned that when we got clean, that we was going to find out some things about ourselves that was hidden, that we didn't want to know about. We didn't want to even think about it because the drug of our choice had us bound and had us clueless and had us to where we didn't care. Then I learned we are beautiful. Everybody is beautiful. When you get clean, you're more beautiful than you ever been. Because everything is genuine. Some of us still got to work on the attitudes and the behaviors and the manipulate. Because we can't all work on that at one time. It takes little bitty pieces of us as we work in a program. And as we have to deal with death. We have to deal with sickness. We have to deal with depression. We have to deal with disease of Narcotics Anonymous. So we are very beautiful peoples. And I tell everybody all the time, the most beautiful peoples are the recovering peoples, because when we was using, we wasn't beautiful. We didn't know that we had all these things in us until we became recovering. And that's when we saw the strength. That's where we saw that we were powerful. That's how we knew we were creative. You know, we could do all things. We can make all things. We can challenge and deal with it all because we are clean. Then we become magical. We feel magical. We help other people. We go to places and make things happen. Somebody can come to you or come to me and ask the question that they couldn't figure out. And then all of a sudden we give our input or we show our love. And now we become magical peoples. Know that. Thank you, Charlotte. Know that. Now we're proud. We proud to walk in a convention. We proud to go to a meeting. We proud to let people see the light in us. We're proud to let everybody know that I'm recovering. I don't hide mine. You know, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful and kind. I'm so grateful for this gift called recovery and the life-changing things that we do in recovery. I don't hide it because it's been a blessing in our lives. In your life, in my life, and other people's lives. So we become very proud of ourselves. I'm proud that I can pay my bills every month. I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I ain't missed paying my rent in over 30 years. I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I have kept my furniture in my house without the drug man or other people's removing my mess because I done sold it for a little bit of anything just to get one more. I'm proud of that. See, the little bitty things that we took for granted of is big things to us now, because we didn't use. I love saying that words. We didn't use. We didn't use, y'all. No matter what happened, whatever was stole at us, we didn't pick up and use. We didn't run no more. We figured when we got into recovery, we don't have to run no more. We deal with it. We take a God of our understanding, let him come into our lives and let him help us with the situation that we need to be helped. And he gonna work it all out, which he already working it out before we even know it's gonna get worked out. He's in the seen as well as the unseen. Remember that. Then we are blessed. We are blessed when we realize that somebody died in their addiction. When we realize that we woke up this morning and still had a car, and still had money in our pocket, still in our right mind, still got our legs and arms and our eyes, still learn that we can be anything that we want. We are blessed. We are blessed. And I'm telling you these words because these are the words that came to me today and last night, that these are all the buildup that I've seen in us. That's why recovery must continue to work for us, so we can add some more words to it. We can see in ourselves. You know, we can see in ourselves. We don't need nobody to tell us what they see. We already know what they see, because we got feelings today. Genuine good feelings about everything. Every bad decision we might have made, every good decision that we made, every time we fall and we got back without the use of drugs. Hey, we are blessed. We are blessed to be amongst the living that didn't die in our using. Because I could have died. All y'all on here could have died. The people that's going to come on later on, they could have died in our addiction. The disease of an addiction. And then to myself and to yourself, myself made a better choice. I chose to live instead of to die. I chose to wake up instead of go to sleep and never wake up. I chose to love people when they don't even love me. Myself. I chose to like people that still talk about me. Myself chose to still don't hold resentments, but to pray for you. See, myself had to learn all this. Myself had to give up some things in order to gain a lot of things. Myself is so powerful, so creative. We are so powerful and we are so creative. We are magical. Y'all got to hear what I say. We are the miracles. We are miracles. We are beautiful. This is what we find out as we go through this challenge of staying clean and don't pick up no matter what. We are proud peoples. We are proud. We are blessed. Blessed in the city. To walk around and know who we are for oh my God, did you hear what I said? We are blessed to wake up and know our purpose and to know what we got to do and to know what we doing and to know how we can change, and we know how we can continue to change. We are blessed. We are loved. Many people that downed us, many people that hurt us, many people that didn't like us, many people that discouraged us, many people that didn't like what they seen. A lot of them people love us now. You know why? Because we learned to love ourselves. We learned that we're going to do this no matter what. No matter what child bring up something in the past that I did. No matter what sister can't forgive me for something that I done. No matter what brother still hating on me because of something I did in my past, in my using. You know, and it takes a lot to admit. Takes a lot. I didn't know how to say sorry. I wasn't sorry. I couldn't tell you I'm sorry. I wasn't sorry. I didn't know how to be honest and be open-minded and have a willingness to be honest with myself. And another thing we all learn in recovery, hopefulness, being hopeful, staying hopeful. Hopeful that I can continue to stay clean. Hopeful that I can get the kids to love me when they used to didn't like me. Hopeful that I can make better decisions in my life. Hopeful that I can stay in the meetings. I can get me a sponsor. Hopeful. Hopefulness. Hopeful. Hopeful that I can wake up in the morning and realize that I ain't got to use again. Hopeful. That's a big word. Big, big word. But now, here's something that this is a word that I really like, y'all. And it's called unique. We as addicts are unique peoples. What that mean, Renee? What you mean unique? We're different. The reason I say we different, because when y'all got to drink and use drugs, we learn we don't have to do that no more. We are unique. We're unique peoples that when we come in and somebody want attention, we don't have to fall in that place of giving them the attention to satisfy our own selfish needs. That's why we're unique. We're unique that we can look at what you said that hurt us, but we can maintain it and not pick up behind it. Because you hurt me, let me change the way I take that. Let me change the way I think, because I'm unique. God had to show us we are unique peoples, because now we're not like everybody. Come on, Renee, what you say? I ain't like nobody else. I'm unique. You're unique. Why? It's because we don't have to do the same thing that other peoples do. We don't have to become what other peoples want us to become. We don't have to do what other peoples want us to do. We don't have to fall in the lane of being like them, because we are unique ourselves. We are unique. Everybody that stay clean, everybody that's got months and multiples of years, everybody that's got a challenge ahead of them, but they still clean, because we are unique. Unique is to be different. Unique is beautiful. You learn how to deal with habits that you used to have, and you don't have to deal with them habits no more. What you say? I'm unique? Yes, you are. You are very unique. You had to learn how to get your own husband or your own boyfriend instead of sleeping with somebody else's husband. Unique? What? I found a way to feel good about myself, where I didn't have to lower myself to make my own self look good. I'm unique. You're unique. Anytime that we in a room full of people and everybody is drinking, everybody is high, everybody is drunk, and we're not. You heard what I said, and we're not. Everybody drinking, but we ain't drinking. Whether it's a family reunion or a party or a birthday, we're unique people, so we stand out. Because we learned about our behaviors that got us in trouble and got us to become just like y'all. We drank, we got high, we popped pills, we did ugly things. But now we unique. Because we found a way to stay unique. We found a way to separate ourselves and become unique peoples. Think about that when you get off this air. How different are we than other peoples now? I ain't saying that we better than them. I'm not saying that they better than me. I'm just saying we became unique because we found a way not to use and how to be creative and how to be magical and how to be beautiful within inside and out and how to hold on to that and be proud of it. How to learn that we are very powerful peoples and how powerful am I? I ain't got to pick up no more. Then we also learned how to be proud of our actions, to be proud of our the new way we changed, to be proud of our new purpose in life. We learned all that. We learned it. That's why you hear me calling these words, hey, auntie. I love you, auntie. I got to get back on the phone calls, auntie. We learn all that. We learn how that we are blessed peoples. We learn it. I know we blessed. Let me tell you why we blessed. We ain't dead. We still alive. We still counting our days that we've been clean. We still learning how to accept the things that we cannot change. We still learning that. We still learning that we don't have to accept somebody to like us no more because we learn to love ourselves. We're blessed. We're blessed that we ain't still holding on to resentments and behaviors and character defects. Lord, I'm blessed. We are blessed. We blessed that we woke up in the morning and I ain't got no rolls of tissue paper, but I got plenty rolls of tissue paper. Because I tell you, when I was using, I didn't even have money to get tissue paper. I had to borrow it. Oh, I can look back over my life and see all the reason why he say we blessed. I can understand that. And then we are worthy. See all these words that I found out that we all gain and we learn how to do. We learn what to become. We learned our purpose. We learned why we're beautiful, why we blessed, why we are magical peoples, why we are creative peoples, why we are powerful peoples, why we love so much now when we used to not love at all. And how we are so hopeful that we continue to live and continue to stay clean and continue to prosper and continue to help other people, continue to be there for another individual that's going through in recovery. You know, see how unique we became, how unique we are different because we learn how not to do the things that we used to do. Like I don't have to go and drink because you drinking. I don't have to sleep with your husband because my girlfriend slept with my husband. I don't have to learn how to prostitute no more because I don't do that no more. I don't learn how to hate. I learned all the opposite. I learned how to love. I learned how to stay hopeful. I learned that I am magical. I learned that we are creative. I learned that we are powerful. I learned that we are proud of our excesses that we have done in our lives. I learned that, that we can prosper, that we can help another individual. I learned that we are blessed. And continue to get blessed, continue to be blessed. I learned that we are worthy. We are worthy of everything that God wants to give to us. We are worthy of staying clean. We are worthy of saying no to drugs and alcohol. We are worthy to let go of the depression. We are worthy of not feeling alone no more. We are worthy because we found a new way to live. We are worthy because we can pay our rent now. We are worthy to where we got a vehicle to ride in. We are worthy because God said we was worthy. We are worthy because we feel worthy. We are worthy because of our way that we think and do in this day and age because we don't have to use no more. We are brave. Don't let me forget about that word. We are brave peoples. We are brave. We've been through the rough times. We know what it is to be so high to where we don't ever want to wake up again. Yeah. Come on, let me go. Come on. Hey, yes. We are brave peoples. We are brave when even we want to think about using. When the using come in our head, we can say no to drugs, no to alcohol, no to sadness, no to depression. No, we are brave peoples. Brave is something that I long to see. And that he finally taught me that brave is within yourself. You can be brave in everything that you do. Long as you don't use. Long as you don't use. Grateful. Boy, let me talk about grateful. Grateful is sometimes when you're talking to people and the tears flow. It's called gratefulness. It's times when you know you lost your mother or your son, but you still carry them in your heart. That's called gratefulness. Gratefulness is when you get a plate of food in front of you and that you and your family can sit and eat together. That's being called grateful. It's grateful where I used to only didn't care or didn't have a lot of shoes when I was using. Now I got too many to count. Being grateful. Grateful that I can use the arms that connect me to you all and get on this cell phone and type in the words and use my fingers. That's called being grateful. It's grateful for when I need a pair of shoes or socks to put on, that I got legs to walk to get to them socks and shoes. That's called grateful. When I was at my bottom, when you was at your bottom, when we was out there in the streets running at night, when we was out there trying to get drugs and people's hurting us and we hurting people, that's called gratefulness. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I don't have to go to bed mad at nobody. When that's all I used to do was go to bed mad. And that promise, not promise that we gonna wake up. But that unique person had to find me. It had to become a part of me. That I must change in all areas of my life. I must change the way I think. I must change the way I act. I must change the way I show up. I must change on what I hold on to. I must change. But gratefulness always set in my life every day. Because every day I don't use, every day that you don't use, every day that you still here is called gratefulness. I am so grateful, God. I could have died a long time ago. I could have not been here a long time ago. Like a lot of my friends that's not here. But I'm still here. That's why I talk about you, God. That's why I love you, God. Is because you were so grateful to me to still love us and still care for us and still carry us until we can learn how to endure ourselves, carry ourselves, love ourselves, to create the things in ourselves, to show the powerfulness in ourselves, to see that and show the magical part about being clean, to show and feel that we are beautiful peoples, to be proud of whatever decision, whatever accomplishment, whatever we couldn't get together before, we got it together now. And to show you how blessed I am, that's why I don't stay. That's why I don't use no more, God, because I show you every day how blessed I feel and how blessed I am that I don't have to pick up. I didn't have to use behind that situation. I didn't have to use behind that situation. It hurted me, God. I went through some crying. I went through some being still. But God, I didn't have to pick up, so that's how blessed I am. Then when it come to myself, I had to realize that we all are somebody. Ain't nobody perfect. Ain't nobody. We just become and learn how to be better peoples. Okay, God, I fell in love with me. I know how to love again. I know how to love peoples unconditionally. I don't have to hold on to the hurt and to hold on to the way that I used to think about you. So I know that I love me because now I can love everybody else. That's a powerful word for me, is to love somebody else because I learned how to love me. Did you all learn how to love yourself so you can love everybody? We might not like what people do or how they talk or what they say, but if you in the arms of the God of my understanding, you still have to love them unconditionally. And then I got that hopefulness. I'm so grateful and hopeful that I'm going to continue to do the will of God and in this program and stay around to help other individuals, help them get themselves together. You know, any little part that I can play in helping somebody else, I'm game. You know, because it ain't no bad thing to help another individual help change their life and get their life together. And I'm very positive. Anybody know that I'm positive now more than I ever been? Hey, Mike, how you doing, baby? That's another one that I'm proud of, Mike Johnson. You know, and I said it to all you all. He's doing a wonderful job, even though he have other family members still out there, but he still refused to use, no matter what happens in his life. And I always tell him when I see him, I'm so proud of him, you know, because it was some things that I know that happened, and we both didn't use. So I'm grateful for that. So now we talking about worthy. What are we worthy? We know we worthy. We worthy to get up and go to a meeting. We're worthy to get up and go pay a bill. We worthy to know our worth and what we're going through and what we need to do for our life. We worthy. So, you know, in gratefulness and grateful. You know, so I done went over y'all. You know, I get good. But now we talked about powerful. We talked about creative. We talked about we are magical peoples. We talked about we are beautiful peoples. We talked about we are proud of our accomplishments and knowing that we are clean and carry the message out to another individual. We talked about how blessed we are, how blessed you are, how blessed I am to be alive and well and make decisions and not have to let nobody else pay our bills or hurt us no more. We can take it now. We can take rejection now. See, these are things I couldn't used to take. But see, when the God come in your life and you start loving on you, these are all the unique things that you find out about yourself. You are blessed. We are proud peoples. We are beautiful peoples. We are magical peoples. We are creative peoples. We are powerful peoples. And on top of that, we love again. We love people. They love us back. Hopeful. We are very hopeful in our recovery. We love being hopeful. We have to stay hopeful. I needed that word when I first came into treatment, to stay hopeful no matter what. We are unique peoples, very unique. We are different. We don't have to use because other people's use. We can go to a party. I can go on a party and they can be all drinking. It don't bother me. You know why? Because I'm unique. And I can walk out of there and feel good about myself and show, man, I showed how unique I was because I didn't take a drink. I drank grapefruit juice, cranberry juice. I'm unique. I know how to be unique amongst everybody. And that's a good feeling y'all should be proud of. Positive person, I know I'm positive. I give positive words to everybody. Even in my hurt, even when I'm hurt, I still can say something good and nice to you and not hold on what you did to me or how you made me feel or how you, no, I don't do that no more. I got too much positive in my life going on. Brave. We talked about brave tonight. How brave we become to somebody to come into my house. I remember a long time ago and go in my bathroom and have cocaine in my bathroom, and I didn't hurt them. You know, I just told them to remove themselves, and you can never come back to my house again. That's how brave I was, to confront the issue right in front of his face and to let you know my recovery is everything. So that's another one we talked about. So enough! We talked about worthy. We are worthy, God. We are worthy. We are worthy. You showed us we are worthy. You showed that all these words that I just talked about, when people go to looking at you and you think you can't make it, you know, you learn how to remember what Renee telling you before I get off. We are powerful. We are creative. We are magical. We are beautiful peoples. We are proud. We are blessed. We are loved and to be loved. We are hopeful. We are unique peoples. We are positive peoples. We are brave. We are worthy. And we are regaled. Means somewhat like unique. And when you get all these words, $13 words we talked about tonight. 13 words we learn how to find within ourselves. Because the peoples in the world made us feel like they counted us out. We wasn't nothing. We wasn't going to be nothing. And look at all the words we talked about that showed up in us being clean. God is amazing. Thank you all. Friday night. We do recover one day at a time. I thank everyone that comes on here. Hey, Tim, how you doing, baby? Hey, Miss Johnson, how you doing, honey? I know that God done brought us and brought you from a long ways. Anytime you can be powerful. Anytime you can be creative. Anytime you can be beautiful. Anytime you can be proud and blessed and worthy and regal and positive and brave and unique. Anytime you can be hopeful and love. You doing something. Stay on that road. May God continue to bless you. May He bless everyone that's on this site. Thank you all for letting me come into your life, come into your rooms, your bathroom, your living room, your dining room, wherever you may be sitting. Thank you for being a part of my process. Because when I get on here to talk about addiction and to help you, it helps me too. It reminds me why I'm so grateful. It reminds me why I'm so powerful. It reminds me why I'm so brave. It reminds me why we are so blessed and proud of ourselves. We are very unique peoples, hopeful peoples, love peoples. I see y'all Sunday, and on Sunday I believe we are on step 8, and made all list of all harms of all person we had harmed, and became willing to make amends to them all. That's a good one. I had a hard time with that one, but it's a good one. And I'll be ready for it on Sunday evening at 2 o'clock. Man, I'm sweating. It's hot. Thank you, God. Thank y'all. I see y'all on Sunday. May God continue to bless you and love you like I do. And if anybody haven't told you today that they love you, Miss Renee, love you. I don't have to see you to pray for you. I don't have to see you to love you. Just know that I love you. Good night.